Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Raina Mo's Designs. And today I'm going to be dropping some seeds and some knowledge. So if you're interested in growing some groceries and helping yourself be self-sustainable, just keep on watching. So today I am dropping some Georgia collards and some early round cabbage seeds, all for the collab for cabbage and collards, or collards and cabbage, brought to you by our gardening community with the help of the New Orleans Garden, TNOG, Growing Out the Box, and Back to Our Roots, Homestead. Now, these seeds I actually got from another different YouTuber, their seed shop, which was Homestead Hearts seed shop. But this challenge is brought to us by the New Orleans Gardener, Growing Out the Box, and Back to Our Roots. So basically, they've just put a challenge out there in the YouTube gardening community, because it's a big community, of growing a successful collard green plant and a successful cabbage plant. So I'm going to be trying to do that. Now, last year, me and Daddy, we did do some success with some cabbages, but they were store-bought starts. This time I'm doing it TNOG style by dropping my own seeds. So if that's something that interests you, please keep on watching. So my rainbows, as you can see here, I have 2 cups, which is actually 4. I have my red solo cup that has the square bottom, if you can see that, and there are holes there, right? My other solo cup, which is actually a hefty cup, is just a basic round cup, right? So that it's gonna drain anytime I water it from the top, the water will drain to the bottom, right? What this does is help encourage your plant to dig down deep to reach for that water, right? So that your soil always stays moist, the roots get what they need, but they don't overwater, right? Plus, when you water in the beginning, when it drips through, you can pour out that extra water so that when they get bigger and you have roots, they don't rot. So that's why I want to use the 2-cup method with this. I want them to get big enough so that they can be substantially big when I put them out in the garden, because we have a problem with those cabbage moths and cabbage loopers, and they always just take over if you don't be preemptive and protect your crop. Okay, so this is soil that I'd already grown in. I grew sweet potatoes in this soil. I added amendments to it, and now we're going to start our seedlings. So basically what I do is, these are my Georgia collards. That's what I'm going to be starting with. These seeds, as you can see, because I'm going to take 1 out, okay, maybe 2. Look how tiny those seeds are. I hope that you can see how tiny those seeds are. Okay, I just dropped the other ones. Extremely tiny, you know? And that's how brassica seeds are. They're very tiny. So in this blue, I'm gonna have my collard, right? Georgia collard. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of a dimple in my cup, and I'm gonna drop that 1 seed. And then I'm gonna barely cover it over. A lot of times I like to use vermiculite on the top of my soil. I'm gonna put 2 seeds in this cup. I'm gonna put the other one here. Okay, so there, my Georgia collards are in the blue cup. And my early round cabbage is gonna be in the green bottom cup. And I'm gonna drop 2 as well. And the reason that I'm dropping 2 is because in case one doesn't germinate, or if something happens to one, then I have the other, right? Because anything can happen. Now this is a lighter colored seed, so I'm gonna put that one back. Not that that means that seed won't germinate or that it's a different seed, because it's not. I just like to go with darker seeds, darker looking seeds. So I'm gonna put the first one in and just barely cover it up. And then I'm gonna do the second one the same way. Just drop it in and then barely cover it up. Now, one thing that I have noticed with brassicas, it's kind of wiry. It grows up and then it kind of puts a little curve on, and then it starts to put on all of its leaves. Well, when they're ready to be potted outside or to be potted up, you can add more soil and it doesn't bother them. They don't grow more roots like a tomato plant would or a bell pepper plant would, but it helps stabilize them and they like that. So that's the reason why I just plant them really shallow, right? Now I'm gonna water these in, and once I water them in, I just have an old takeout tray. I'm just gonna set these in there. And what you saw behind me, that black rectangle, that's a grow tent. I'm gonna put them in the grow tent on a heat mat and let them germinate. And whenever they germinate, then I'm sure I'll do another video to give you updates or whatever, but that's it. I'm planted my collards and my cabbages for the 2024 Collards and Cabbage Challenge set by T-Nog, Back to Our Roots Homestead, and Growing Out the Box. So I decided I would go ahead and show you guys how I water them in. I just take an old water bottle and I take a safety pin and poke holes in the top, and then I just water. See that? Very just well. Like that. And this is the best little watering can for your seedlings, because the water is the fall with the squeeze of your pressure is very light, so you're not really going to be moving the seeds around. Whereas with the water hose, you could actually accidentally move your seeds around. So I'm just going to continue to water that in and let that settle. Get rid of all of the air pockets that are in there. And then when it's done, whatever waters drips to the bottom, which nothing has yet, but whenever it does, I can easily empty this bottom cup like I was telling you before. But anyway, I'll be sharing this journey with you guys, with me starting seeds from, me starting collards and cabbages from seed and growing them in my garden. And I encourage any and all of you that enjoy gardening, get out there, set up a little camera, even if it's your cell phone, like I use my cell phone. Set up a camera on a tripod or hike it up on something and just record what you do. Record your piece in your garden and put it up. Participate in different challenges that you find in YouTube. You'll find that it'll be a joy for you to do. You're giving back by sharing in the community. You're learning by staying in the community and being able to receive things from others. Us staying together is and communicating with each other is really important for our self-sustainability and for our survival. So you need to glean knowledge wherever you can. And here in the YouTube gardening community, they're a wealth of knowledge and they're open-armed and open-hearted. So on that note, my rainbows, have an absolutely wonderful evening. And don't forget, 2024 Collards and Cabbage Challenge. Thanks to T-Nog, thanks to Back to Your Roots Homestead, and thanks to Growing Out the Box. Raina Mo's growing some collards and cabbage from seed this year, y'all. Bye.